Well, hello there. David Johnson from Superior Lapidary coming at you with one more video. This is my drying bucket, a little dirty on the outside, that doesn't matter. But I got a chunk of Jasper in here, Mary Ellen Jasper. This was brought to me a few weeks ago by a customer of mine. And they would like this slabbed up. But you can see it'd be awful tough to get this clamped into a saw and slab it up. I actually did. In the beginning I put it in the vise just like this, and I was able to cut a flat face, and that's what you need is a flat face. So I'm just trying to decide which glue to use. I think I'm going to use whichever one comes out of the bottle. They're both wood glues. I did this one other time, and I used the Gorilla Glue that literally bonds everything. And it bonded the stone to the board, and I wasn't able to get it off without putting the board in a saw, so I scrapped that piece. But what I'm going to do is use the help of a 2x6, just a chunk, and I literally randomly just grab this chunk. And see, you can't really glue this rough side. That's just not going to work. You got to glue the flat side. I literally grabbed one piece, I had two to pick from, and this one fits in. So I'll be able to get this mounted just like that. I would like, when I'm done, to be able to get the piece of wood off of dispenser cap. Looks like this will work. Well, not shown here, I did clean the stone off and the board earlier with acetone. You can see that little jug in the lower right hand corner. Oh, looks like plenty. I'm trying to make this not too complicated. My shop is going to get cold here tonight. I usually let it get down to about 40 degrees when I'm not working, so we're going to come back in a day or two and check this out. Just trying to get it pressed in. Make sure I have glue everywhere on there. Okay. All right. That's it for today. I'm going to let this be, and we're going to come back and visit this a little bit later. All right, we're going to do something a little bit different today, something I normally don't do, but fine company, Super Clean, decided to send me some products and see if I would try them out and give a little spiel about what I thought about the Super Clean products. So I'm going to open it up. I'm not sure what they sent me, and we're going to try out what we can, and I'll give you my honest opinion when I'm done. It'll only take a minute or two, don't worry. All right, there's something I can really use. Some Super Clean floor absorbent. Hey, and there's some Super Clean Tough Task cleaner and degreaser. Hey, and there's some cleaner that foams. Who doesn't like foaming cleaner? Oh yeah, I was just looking at my van today, and yeah, I need to do some work on it. So as soon as it warms up outside, we're gonna give this stuff a try. This dissolves grease fast. And if you've seen my shop around here, it's a greasy place. So this is going to come in handy. I think it's going to work. We'll see. Sticker. I love a sticker. That's going in my shop. Okay, I got one more glue up job to do. So we've got this odd-shaped rock. The fellow wants it slabbed up, but I think I'm not going to get any slabs out of it, but we can cut it in half. But there's almost no way to jig that up in the saws with the tools and equipment that I have. It's a pretty neat stone. So I've got a plan. I don't know if it's going to work or not. Just I got to make a little line because I might not be able to see the whole stone once I get it in the saw. So that's just kind of the split line down the middle. So my plan is I'm going to glue it to this board, but there's just not enough surface because of the shape of this. So I've got to just make the stone fit the board. We'll do a quick outline of it. It's pretty straight, so I think what I want to do I don't have the best tool. I've got a good tool for it, I just don't have the best bit. This is a little bit, I don't think it's going to work real well. I'm going to give it a shot. Probably going to have to do that quite a few times until I get this seated in there. Oh, for sure. You can feel it rocking right here, so I've got to hit it here for sure. Well, we're making a little bit of progress. It's not fast, but it's getting there. But in the meantime, while I'm working on that, we're going to take and put this one in the old slab saw. I've glued this on. It's about 3 days ago now. My shop's been cold, so I didn't want to risk it, so it's just been sitting here. We're going to place this in the 18-inch saw, and let's see if I can cut it without it falling apart. Should work out fine. So I've got my fingers hooked around the front end of this, and I'm trying to get this position so the board is parallel. You know, I can eyeball it, but I can see up and down when I compare this line to the line of the board. But I can't see the front one. It's just out of my sight. I can't walk around there to check it out. So this first cut is going to be a little thin, but it's going to get rid of this rough face. And then I should be able to get 2 slabs out of this. Tighten that down. Feels pretty good. And 8 turns on this saw makes about a 1/4 inch. All right, let's see what happens. You can hear it engaging the rock already. I had it nice and close. Okay, so I'm going to let that spin. I'm going to go back and work on getting that other stone set into the piece of wood. I got 2 other saws that are going to get going, and I'm working on a sphere. Okay, well, the one piece is still cutting, and I'm getting this closer and closer to fitting in here. It doesn't have to be, I don't think it has to be inset too deep into the piece of wood, but I would like it to fit a little bit better. So we're just going to go back to the magic marker. I've already done this a few times. Put a fresh coat on here. I'm hoping acetone will clean this off after. Set it down on its little perch. Just give it a little rub back and forth. You can see where the high spots are. And so everything with a little green on it, I gotta grind down a little bit. Yeah, Well, it's not perfect. I'm getting green all over the place here, so I think we're really close to being able to glue it up. See how she feels. Yeah, I think there's going to be plenty of surface area. We're going to glue it up, but first I'm going to take some acetone and clean the grease off of here. That doesn't work. That was bad. I'll figure it out later. Alright, this is a wood glue that I'd used on the other one. And so far it seems to have been holding, so we're going to put a fair amount on here too. Okay, let's go with that. That feels pretty darn good. So we're going to let this dry for a couple of days and we'll get back and cut this. I'm going to go back and turn the saw on and finish cutting that other one, and we'll show you how that one turns out when it's done. So stay tuned for this one and the first one. Alright, not much to say, so I'll just show you. Let's take a look under the hood. Okay, well, we can see that I've got the rock and the saw. Unfortunately, the rock is here and my 2x6 is there. So we had a catastrophe. The saw shut off and I thought I was doing pretty good. But no, it came off. So I got a hell of a nice start on that cut through there. I cut one big slab off of it already. Let me grab that and show you. So you can cut this much. This is beautiful stuff, by the way. So look at that. Gorgeous material. Mariel and Jasper from up in Wabick, Minnesota. It's a little line in there, a little groove. That happens. I was doing so good, I had it glued up. And it came off. I didn't know it came off. The saw was running quietly. It got to the end, it shut off. I opened the hood and that's what I found. So, wood glue is good for a little bit, but long term, no. I've used it on my sphere cups. It came apart on those too. So, if you got a real small piece, wood glue, maybe. I am going to clean this up and remount it and try it again. It's going to take a little while. I got to get all the oil off, and yeah, that's just the way it is. So wood glue is not a great one, but it does clean off. So you can see there's no residue of wood glue on here. All right, I do have a couple others that I've mounted on wood glue. I just showed you that other one. I'm going to try it, but not today. I'm frustrated. It's time to give up and start over. Okay, so I'm going to shut the shop down for the day. I could stay longer, but I'm a little bit frustrated, and that's no time to be in the shop. So I'm going to get out of here, going to go in the house, enjoy the evening. One other thing that leads to the frustration, I'm working on this other beautiful piece. I had it in the machine, in the jig, and it was turning out to be beautiful. I'll show you the finished one in a second. And this happened. I had a third of this rock blow off, or a fourth of it. So now I've got two pieces. Could try and glue it together and start over, or I could just shrink it down and make a tiny sphere. I don't know. It's not mine. I'm doing it for a customer, so I'm going to let them decide. that happen though. So yeah, things are mounting up, problems, but it's okay. That's what happens in this business. I promise you I'd show you that other finished sphere. Here it comes. Black piece of stone from the iron range. There's some striping in it. I actually don't know what it is. They told me and I forgot. But it's beautiful. The sphere turned out awesome. And this is going to go in somebody's collection as soon as it gets back to the owner. So at least I got that done. Okay, well, it's the next day. Spent a little time thinking about what I wanted to do. And since this rock is glued already to the board, the other one held up for a lot more cutting than I'm going to do with this one. I'm going to try it. I guess the worst that could happen is the rock will fall out, it'll jam up and bend a very expensive blade. So we'll see. So I've got this thing jigged up. I've got it about centered as good as I can get it. And let's whale away and see what happens. Wish me luck. All right, 2 seconds in, so far so good. Okay, well I think we've cut through. Let's verify this. Nope, I got a smidge to go yet. Next couple minutes. Hey, I think we did it, folks. Alright, well I got her. Actually, it's just a little bit off of half. It's not quite in half. And it's a rather unremarkable stone, but the fellow wanted to cut, so we cut it. Yeah. Well, there's almost enough room to make a slice out of her, but we're going to leave it as is. So there's that. And the board held up. Can't quite pull it off. So I'll just let it soak in some water and try that in a little while. Alright, so here's my verdict on using wood glue for holding stones onto wood. Just pine wood. It's marginal. It's a gamble. That first piece I did, I made a few cuts. It was a big piece. It was a very smooth surface that I glued on, so that had something to do with it coming off. And just a matter of time. It took me a couple days to get at both cuts. If I'd done it in one day, maybe it wouldn't have happened. But that oil had time to soak into the wood and help pop it off. This last one I did worked out fine. It still feels like it's stuck on there really well. So yeah, you can use wood glue. If you're concerned about it, use the stronger Gorilla Glue, you know, that brown colored stuff. That would certainly hold. I've done it, I've used it, and I could not get the wood separated from the stone. So next thing I'll do, I'll soak this, I'll get back and we'll let you know if soaking in water helps pop it off, but right now it's not coming off of there. So I do have more to cut. I'm going to cut more and I'll show you the results of them, the before and after as well. And here's one more. You can see this one's a little longer, a little more material. So I got to make 1, 2, 3 or 4 cuts on this. Let's hope this one holds together too. Wish me luck. Okay, fellow rockhounds, I'm back. I was cutting on this thing. I left for a few minutes and came back. I'll show you what it was left with. Did it work? Did it not? We'll find out. There I got a rock, and it got jammed in here. It came off a block of wood. There it is. Haven't checked the blade yet. Okay, blade's okay. A number 1. So, as much as I had hoped and wished and prayed and already found out it doesn't really work, I gosh darn hope that the wood glue would work. It does not. still got to finish cutting this rock. So I'm going to clean this up, dry it up, remount it. I'm going to use the tougher glue. We'll see how that goes. So I had my disaster a little bit ago. Got the smoke cleared out of the shop. But I still had to finish cutting that first one that came apart. So I'm going to upgrade from regular wood glue. Now, I'm not knocking wood glue, but it isn't right for this application. And I'm going to go to the Gorilla Glue that bonds virtually everything. Okay, I've used this making all my sphere cups, and it holds great. So I'm assuming it's going to hold here too. But those sphere cups don't go into the oil bath, they just have water on them. So it will be a little different. So I think this is the side I'd glued up before. Just gonna move this around, make sure you get glue everywhere. I'm not too concerned about a little overhang on the, basically all four sides, because it's going to be clamped on the wood, and my clamp is not going to overextend onto that. All right, we're going to put a little weight on that overnight. Got a little box of rocks we'll put on there. Okay, now, here was my next victim. This one I have used regular wood glue to put it on. I'm expecting the same results as I did with the one that just fell apart. I got wood glue everywhere. So me and my feeble idea is I'm just going to coat the rim of all of these with the better glue. I have no idea if it's going to help. I really don't. Okay, that's going to sit overnight, maybe 2 nights, I'm not sure, and then we'll get at it later. Glue on my table, my fancy table. Hopefully no more failures. I'll get back to you and show you the results of this silly little gamble. I picked up a replacement belt and got the saw working again for the dry belt going from the motor up to the blade, but the other belt they did not, it took another day to get, but I do have that, so I'll replace that shortly. But what I'm after right now is the slab that I re-glued using the high strength Gorilla Glue. I made one cut on it already and it held up, and we're going to shut the lid and make one more cut. Turn on the Everclean. Oh. The Everclean's a little out of balance, so I'm going to open it up and check it out, see what's going on. So this is going to take the better part of 40 minutes or so to cut through there. I think I've got it cutting through the wood as much as I do the stone. We'll see, that might be a bad idea, but we'll find out. We'll get back to you later. All right, we're going to take a look inside and see just how that glue held up. Heard something. Oh, neat. All right. There is the slab that was glued to the wood. Now we turn it around and you can see a lot of glue here. Excuse me. You can see a lot of wood right up to here. I cut that pretty thin. That's really neat. So I'd say that was a success. After my first failure, I don't know what I'm going to do about getting all this wood off of here. I'll try soaking it in water, but I doubt that's going to really do it. But we're going to try. Let that drip down. In any case, let's take a look at this. Just a little burn mark. Oh, that is the smoothest wood you're ever going to get. Maybe we'll get rid of the table saw and start cutting wood in a rock saw. That's fantastic. All right, we'll dry that as well. I've got one more thing to show you. All right, I took that other piece of wood that had that round rock. Let me see if I can find it here. That I glued this piece onto, a nice little L-shaped piece. Really turned out pretty ugly. I'm not happy with it, but we didn't know what was inside. That's what was inside. All I did was I took the wood and I threw it in a little bucket of water. There we go. And there's the other side. The glue came off the rock. You can still see the glue on here, but it's, yeah, the glue's coming apart. So the wood glue's coming apart in the water, as I expected. Rock looks great. I have to see about getting some of this green off the backside. So that's what I know about that. I have glued this one with the good glue. It actually slid a little bit as I left it. It slid downhill. Now it's off there a little bit. We're going to try and cut that anyway. This one did too. Wow, that was a slow process. I left that and I couldn't even wiggle the stone on there 2 days ago. But it moved. That's crazy. This one, the stones are held on with the regular cheap wood glue, but I have put a bunch of the heavy duty glue around it. You can see the yellow band of stuff. I'm hoping that seals it up enough to cut these into little slabs for my customer. That's what he wanted. It's what he's going to get one way or another. So I'll get back to you when I'm done with these 3 different glued up boards. All right, we're going to test out our first super clean product for floor dry. So let's see what I can do with this. Now I'm going to use it in a couple different ways. One, they would have never expected to be used, and the other, very common use. So first I got to dump it into a little bigger container. I got a bucket. All right, here comes my first non-traditional use of the super absorbent stuff from Super Clean. I got a rock here. It's in a big 30-inch rock saw. It is an oil bath saw, so there's a bunch of oil stuck to this rock that I used in cutting it. Pretty cool. It's a piece of Mary Ellen Jasper, in case you didn't know. Got it all covered up. So what I'm doing, I'm taking the oil off of the rock so that I can use it on a grinding wheel and get all the little points off of there. But I don't want the oil on my grinding wheel. That would mess it up. So we'll give that a little while and see how it does. All right, now we're going to put the super clean floor absorbent on my garage floor. You can see it is an oily mess, and I use the same chair out here in the garage as I do in the house, so my wheels tend to get quite dirty and inflict a mess in the house. So we're going to put some floor dry down here, the absorbent, and just see how it works. And then we'll polish this floor up a little bit after that. So we're just going to spread a little bit around here. See how it picks that up. All right, we got 2 more products to test out. I don't think they're vastly different other than they dissolve grease. Super easy, super fast. One is foaming, and one is not. And we'll try the non-foaming version on the bottom. That'll give us a good look to see just how well this stuff works. It is biodegradable and it smells terrific. Well, it's just going to take a minute or 2 for that to dry out, but I think it's working pretty well. I got 2 other saws. I think I'm going to give a shot and see how it works on them. We're going to go back to the foaming. I think that worked out pretty good. I'm happy with the results. I've got more work to do. Well, there is a look inside a rock saw from about circa 1970 with a plexiglass hood. I wipe this off all the time so I can see what's going on in there, and usually it's hard to see anything, but I use the Super Clean on there, and wow, it really cleaned that finish up nicely. So now I can see through there and see what the saw is up to with the rocks. I'll turn it on for just a second here. So there you can see how the rock saw works. Alright, so there you can see the floor. It picked up a lot of the loose oil. There's still some grime that's stuck down to the floor. But I am going to try the Super Clean Tough Task Cleaner Degreaser and see if that helps out with my floor. And while that floor degreaser is doing its thing, I'll show you what I got here. And literally this has been less than an hour since I put it in there. But that, it took off all the oil off of this stone. And I'll show you quickly why I need to do that. Because next thing I need to do is I've got to work it on a grinding wheel, right there. And I don't want that full of oil. I want that to stay nice and clean. So I had to get the oil off of the stone. So now I'm going to take that and grind up all these little nibs off of that and get this around so I can go back to making my sphere. Alright, I'll give you my final evaluation of the Super Clean products. I think they do pretty good. They work good cleaning my rocks, cleaning the saws. I did do the floor. They picked up the oil as expected. And then the other stuff that was stuck down, the grease and grime that was really stuck to the floor, I tried the other stuff on and it worked pretty good, pretty good. I did have to go back and I applied a second round of spray stuff. I put that on after because there was still some things stuck on the floor that didn't come up with the original degreaser I tried on there. So sprayed some of that on and it got most everything up. The one thing it didn't pick up super good, you can see right here, there's some black streaks in the floor. There's some black spots of I don't know what stuck to the floor, and it just didn't attack that. Maybe I didn't give it enough time. But that's about the only downfall I saw with the whole process. So, hey, and lastly, thank you Super Clean for the t-shirt and hat. Love that. I went to their website, and superclean.com, and searched my area via zip code, who carries it. And there's about 5 places in the town I live in, including Walmart, Menards, Ace Hardware, and a few others. So it's real easy to find, and I'm going to continue to use Super Clean, and I hope you do too. All right, we're just going to update you a little bit on some of the stones that have had that were glued to the wood, and I ran through the saw. I finally got that part of the project nearly finished, but I still had, let me show you, I got wood stuck to the back of my stones. So all I did, I took a little bucket. Okay, this was a mistake, but it worked. Poured in just enough acetone to cover the thin slice of wood I had. On others, if it's thicker, you may need, an inch or so. I did not have a good tight fitting lid on there, so everything evaporated. I did this about 24 hours ago, and now seems to have been enough time. Soak in. I tried peeling these off the other day. They were not coming off. They're still wet with acetone, so you could certainly wear gloves with this. So that is 2x6 pine boards that were glued, that I glued these onto, and that's just what I peeled off, was remnants of that. If it was thicker, you might have to give it a couple more days time. Certainly put it in a sealed container. I'll get one next time, I just couldn't find one offhand. So there you go. That worked. Here's some of the slabs I cut. Turned out to be that many. Plus that many. These are all small, pretty small size slabs. And then I've got a box of bigger ones. This box is full. There's about 15 or so slabs in there. Plus I've got to make a sphere out of this yet. And that'll be a good finish to that part of the project. Anyway, yeah, the glue works. Wood glue barely works. It's dangerous. That's the stuff I used that worked. And I was able to get the wood off of the back, so you can too. If you found any value to this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it at all, you know what to do. I appreciate it. And see you next time right here in Superior Lapidary.